This is a painting about, it's entitled Noah Sacrificing After the Deluge. It's by Benjamin West. It's hanging here in the San Antonio Art Museum. I'd like to use this as a backdrop to explain a commonly asked question I get about the Bible, a Bible verse. There's a strange verse that nobody really understands. Well, most people don't understand, and it's Noah and his wife. Noah got drunk a couple times, and then it says that Ham uncovered his father's nakedness. Well, it doesn't mean that he was looking at his father naked. That was a figure of speech, meaning you slept with your father's wife. Now, in this case, Noah only had one wife, but later on, people had multiple wives. So when you uncovered your father's nakedness, that means you did something to his one of his wives untoward. Maybe not necessarily your mother, although in this case it was his mother. And the progeny of this was Canaan, who was cursed. And anyway, that's a figure of speech used in the Bible. Uncovering your father's nakedness means sleeping with his wife, and that's why the other sons walked backwards with a covering too. It wasn't to cover Noah per se. It was to not look at his wife naked. It's not really a sin to see your father naked. I don't recommend it, but you want to cover your mother. You wouldn't want to look at her. So that's where the term uncovering your father's nakedness comes from, and that's where the curse came from. And it wasn't God cursing him; it was Noah cursing him because his Ham fornicated with his mom in this case. Although generally it meant with just another one of the multiple wives, not necessarily your mother. Although it was that in this case. So there's lots of figures of speeches in the Bible that the meaning is, if you don't understand it screws up the translation. Another translation is it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven. Well, in this case, the eye of the needle was a gate within a gate at a city. The cities were walled back then, so if a rich man came up, his wares would be on his camel. And to get into the safety, which would be a parable of the kingdom of heaven, if he came up at night, night being a foreshadow of death, you could come up, and the eye of the needle, the little door within the gate, was big enough for a man to come through, and you could even bring in the camel or the horse, but he had to take all the stuff off of it, and he had to bend him down. And the same thing with the man had to bend down. So only on a bended knee and getting rid of worldly things will a rich man enter the kingdom of heaven. So that's what going through the eye of the needle is. And the same thing with yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the death. Well, the valley of the shadow of death is still there. It's a switchback canyon where a lot of cutthroats, there was lots of hiding places. Every time you rounded a corner, there was a place to hide, and cutthroats would get people. So a lot of the misunderstood passages in the Bible are figures of speech, and I'll cover some more of them. But this is one anyway. They've got this drawing of Noah sacrificing after the flood, and that's what uncovering your father's nakedness means. Subscribe if you liked it. Thank you. Bye.